Hey, it's Sam with Toast Tables, and in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can set up a communal table using Toast Tables. So when I say communal table, I mean you have one large table where you can accept multiple reservations at the same table. So by nature, Toast Tables doesn't support this. If you have a table that accommodates, even if it accommodates 2 to 4 people, once a two-top book's there, those remaining 2 seats aren't bookable by another two-top. By nature, 99% of the time, that's how a restaurant wants it to work. But on occasion, there is a large table called a communal table where multiple reservations can book at the same table. So maybe like a 4-top can book on one end and a 6-top on the other, and they sit at the same table. And ideally, that's communicated to the customers so they know that they might be sitting physically at the same table as another party, but you want to be able to accommodate that. So this demonstration is going to walk through that. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to set up an actual service area in my front of house settings, in the point of sale settings, to accommodate this. So I've created a communal table service area. You don't necessarily have to have it as a dedicated service area, but I will, because then I can surface that communication even more to the guest. But the way that I'm going to set this up is I have a label here in the middle saying communal, and then around that I have a table that represents each seat. So CO1 is actually just a chair. CO2 is another chair, so 2 people would sit at these 2 chairs together at a communal table that seats up to 12 people. So we have 5 chairs on one side, 5 chairs on the other, and a chair on each end. So this is a 12-top if theoretically the whole table were booked for one party, but I might want to be able to have a 4-top at maybe CO 1 to 11, 12, or CO 1, 2, 3, 4, what have you. But the bottom line is that I want to be able to accept up to 12 people at this table. So I'm going to create this and I'm going to save it. And then next I'm going to go to my waitlist and reservations portion of Toast Web so I can set this up properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to settings, and then under table capacity, this is super important. I want to make sure that all of the tables on this new floor plan are 1-tops because they each represent 1 person. So by default, they're going to seat 1 to 4, but I'm going to go ahead and select all. And I'm going to say that these are 1 to 1. So each table represents 1 chair. So it sits at minimum and maximum 1 person, and apply that to every table and save it. So what we're seeing here is that we've now made every table in that communal table service area a 1-top. And now I'm going to go to combo tables and I'm going to set them up so that they can be seated more than 1 at a time. So without combos, I'd be able to take 12 individual 1-tops, but I want to be able to take a 2-top reservation that seats 2 of those spots, or a 3-top that seats 3, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and create combo tables. You might remember that CO 1 through 5 were at the top, and then CO 6 at the right, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at the bottom, and then 12 at the head. So one thing that I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to configure those 4 kind of at the head. So like 11, 12, 1, 2 is actually, I can seat 4, and I'm going to create that. And actually, I'm going to make these all available online and in-house. So I'm going to real quick do the 3-top CO 12, 1, 2, make that online and in-house. And then I'm going to do that 2-top of CO 1 and CO 12. So this is just a little bit of manual work, but then everything's going to be super easy after this. CO 1, CO 12 is going to be a 2-top. Oh, and I keep forgetting, online and in-house. And then finally, I'm going to do a really, really big one with the entire table. So this is going to be smart enough to think about numbers that are in succession. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 as being next to each other. So the reason I did that work at the front is that the smart sub-combos aren't going to know that 12 and 1 are next to each other. But now for all of these individual sub-combos, it's going to know. So I'm going to say that all 12 can be together for a 12-top. And then I'm also going to include all of these sub-combos. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, all of those 2-tops next to each other. Then CO 1, 2, 3, those 3-tops that are all next to each other. And it's going to smart assume that all of these tables that are next to each other can also be combos. And I'm going to make them available online and in-house. And I'm going to say create and close. And this is going to take a little time while it populates these, but it's doing all of this work behind the scenes for you. So it's setting up every single 2 top next to each other, every single 3 top next to each other, all the 4s, 5s, all the way up to all 12. And then at the beginning, as you know, I created just a couple like on that end that it wouldn't naturally know are next to each other, like 12, 1, and 2. But now it's working in the background and creating all of these sub combos. So I'm going to just give it a little bit of time because that is a lot of combos that it's making for me. Okay, I did a little bit of a time jump so that you wouldn't have to watch my computer think, but you can go ahead and grab a coffee or a snack, and when you come back, you'll see all of your communal combos will have been created. So you can see here that seats CO1 and 2 can accommodate 2, seats CO1, 2, 3 can accommodate 3, etc. So now I'm going to go to a schedule where I can actually set it up to take these bookings. So I created a special communal dinner tonight just for the sake of example. And so I've set it so that I can accept party sizes of 1 to 8. So even though I set it up to be able to accommodate up to 12, I am able to set it up so that my online bookings can only accept an 8 top at max. So this could be 1 8 top and 1 4 top book this table to get to 12, or 3 4 tops, 5 and a 7, whatever combination people want to book. I'm setting it so that only up to 8 people can book online, even though I've set it up so that there are combos larger than that. This is control that I have. And then I'm setting it up so that none of my floor plans are available at this time. I don't have to set it up this way, but since this is a communal dinner, I'm only having my communal table online. And you can see here that it's very important that I not just have these tables available online, but also these combos. And this is what's going to allow people to book larger parties. And then for my turn times, I have, just for this example, I have 1 seating at 6 o'clock for my communal dinner, but you can set this up however you want and add a payment if you want. So now let's see what it looks like. If I click into my booking page for tonight, I can see here that if I want to book anywhere between 1 and 8 guests, let's say I want to book a 4 top, I can now book this communal table at 6 o'clock for 4 guests, and I would be able to, let's just go ahead and do that. And then you'll be able to see here, if we go to our overview for tonight, that we have Sam Jones sitting at CO 1, 2, 11, and 12, so kind of that like left end of the communal table. And even though they are sitting at the communal table with a 4 top, if we were to go back to our booking page and refresh it, there is still available for more people to book. So I could book another 8 top since that was a 12. Let's book again. And this should be the end, right? So this should be the remainder of that table. So let's book this for and if we go into our overview, we can see here now we have Earl Jones for 8 people. And so now this is all 12, right? So let's make sure we shouldn't be able to get another booking at that communal table. Let's go back to the booking page and refresh. And you can see here that there are no more availabilities tonight at 6 o'clock because that whole table is now reserved for Earl Jones and Sam Jones, maybe they're siblings, sitting at all those tables. So you can see here that it pre-assigned Sam to 1 to 11 and 12, and then it assigned Earl to the remainder, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all of those seats are taken. And if I were to look at Toast Tables, I would see that those seats are all accounted for. And actually, I can go ahead and show you what that looks like. So I'm looking here and I see Sam Jones and Earl Jones on the books for tonight. And if I look at my communal table dining area, you can see here that they are all accounted for. And so if I wanted to change where everyone's sitting, like maybe I want Sam Jones, change the table, and right now it's suggesting these 4, but maybe, you know, I want Sam sitting at 12, 1, 2, 3. I can do that. And then I can make Earl, I can change Earl's table to be these, and you can see that it's graying out where Sam is going so that I don't have overlap. And now when I go to seat Sam, I'm seating her at the, or him, at the tables that it recommends, and same with Earl. So that is how you can set up a communal table so that you can take multiple bookings at the same communal table at the same time without overbooking and making it super clear to your guests that they're booking a communal table.